of Catherine Rankin and her family. You just stepped back 100 years in time to the year 1909, the year of New York's last Hudson Fulton celebration. And what a stirring time this is for our dear Catherine. The celebration of Henry Hudson's voyage, Robert Fulton's steamboat, and our past has worked Catherine into a patriotic fervor, and she's hosting her very own celebration for you. To be sure, the parades, the militia reenactments that you've seen, and our favorite, the lofty speeches about our venturous ancestors reaffirm to Catherine the role that her family has played in the history of this country. Never mind that it's a glorified, not to say rose-colored vision of that family.
Did I hear you say you wish to hear about my family? Well, naturally. I am of a very old Albany family, and like many of the oldest stock, I believe that we should hold reverence for our ancestors, especially if they've held as important a place in history as mine.
Here we go.
You, of course, are familiar with the name Van Rensselaer. That is the distinguished name of my ancestors, who were the first great landholders of the Hudson Valley. I am a direct descendant of Philip Van Rensselaer, hero of the American Revolution, and a man of culture and refinement.
As usual, she is wearing her rose-colored glasses and going on about her colonial ancestors. If this is going to make any sense to us at all, we're going to have to put some on as well.
Everyone will agree with exactly what I'm saying now. Well, as you know, the Van Rensselaers were a family of consequence, known throughout the Hudson Valley for hundreds of years as a family having wonderful virtues. Unlike these upstart Vanderbilts who think that owning a railroad buys them class. Have you ever seen the homes of these new industrialists, these railroad men? Their houses have 1,000 rooms, all dripping with marble and gold. Vulgar. I'm afraid such places are not to my taste. Excuse me. For I, like my ancestors, am much more accustomed to simple elegance. You may regard my home as a fine example. My great-grandfather, Philip Van Rensselaer, built this house, and he lived here with his wife, Maria. They filled it with many fine furnishings and decorations, many of which remain in place today. Why, curators have sat for tea in my parlor and admired the fine quality of my family heirlooms. Oh, yes. Well, I am a great deal like my great-grandmother, Maria. She, too, received important guests and held polite entertainments like tea parties. Oh, and the balls. Oh, such lovely dances that were held in this house, excuse me. Oh, the best Albany society assembled in the parlor, an elegant repast laid out on the table, the soft glow of candlelight playing on the shimmering silks like a dream. You know, I own a very pretty dress that belonged to Maria. It's very simple and silky, elegant. She must have looked a dream when she wore it. Oh, dear. Well, as with all people of their stature, Philip and Maria led a leisured, cultured life, a model of refinement. None of these coarse diversions practiced by the lower classes today. The roller coasters, and moving pictures, and vaudeville shows. Oh, as if these people know anything about the niceties. They ruin everything they touch. Why, look around you. Once an oasis of gentility, and now look at it. Noisy and dirty. spoiled by industrialists and immigrants. Well, of course, Philip lived in better times than we do. In the old days, people knew the important values. They knew what good family stock meant, and they respected their betters.
Their betters. By that you mean the Van Rensselaers.
Well, naturally, haven't you been listening to the speeches given during this Hudson-Fulton celebration? It's common knowledge that people like my ancestors knew the important values. Philip Van Rensselaer was a hero of the American Revolution, a symbol of the fight for freedom.
Oh, I cannot listen to another word of this nonsense.